So let us begin the session, ma'am. This week's session.
Sure, let's start then. So our today's conversation is going to be about what interviewers really look during an interview, which is way over and
Mm-hmm.
above the resume that you submit, and you talk over and above the technical questions, the functional questions that they ask you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
every employer basically, when they're looking for a candidate, they're looking for competency and attitude at the same time. And no one would want to compromise that. Why? Because it will disturb the culture of the organization. And that's a bigger risk the
Mm-hmm.
firm will be then taking it, right? That is why these core skills that I'm going to talk about today are extremely important, and they can be also called as transferable skills. Why? Because over the period of time, you actually develop these skills. It's not
Okay.
overnight that happens, right? It's over the time you develop these skills and you carry them along with you as you grow and develop in your career. That is why it is also termed as transferable skills because they keep enhancing, they keep growing as and when you grow in your career and the growth path that you have defined for yourself. Now, the first skill,
Mm-hmm.
what I would be talking about is a business acumen. Now, when you go for an
Mm-hmm.
interview, it is extremely important that you understand the industry that you're getting interviewed with. One. Second,
Mm-hmm.
the company that you're getting interviewed, you need to understand the competitive advantage of that company, its products and services, right? What are they? What is their competitive advantage that they have in the market? What is their growth path? What is their? How are they holding in the marketplace? So you do a complete research on that because that will give you more confidence when you get into the interview and when you talk about the business aspect or side of it. That
Mm-hmm.
is one. Second comes your communication skill. The communication skill will include both your verbal, non-verbal, and also listening skill. Nobody's going to come and tell you, go study and come what listening skills are because that's one skill which is never taught to us, neither in school nor in college, right? So hence, when it comes to communications, it's a combination of three things. One is verbal, non-verbal, and listening skill. But that's exactly what the
Mm-hmm.
employer is looking for. Why you may want to put across your message, but how are you when it comes to taking the information also? Are you a good listener or no? One. Second, how concise, precise, and brief are you in your communication? Because when you get in the corporate world, nobody has time to have conversations on and off, round and round with no base or no a proper navigation is going through. So it's very important that one needs to be very precise, concise, and brief when it comes to your communication skill. The third is your teamwork. Now, any company you join, Anusha, any company, big, small, medium sized, startup, any company that you join, it's extremely important to have teamwork teamwork outlook. See, you might be working as an individual contributor, as a role, or as a you might have applied to, right? But it's very important
Mm-hmm.
that how important are you and comfortable you are working as part of the team, right? It's all about building relationships. It's all about building
Mm-hmm.
rapport. It's all about coming together. It's not it's my way or your or a highway. It's all about us, right? Because the firm
Okay.
functions as us. It's not I versus you. So teamwork is what the other
Mm-hmm.
quality the firm will definitely look when it comes to interviews, and that's how the questions also will be surrounded around situational questions where they will ask you, okay, so cite an example where you showed your skills as a team player. You know that is the reason
Mm-hmm.
that they want to see because they want to be sure when you join my company how well are you or how good are you when it comes to a team because there's some people who are just not comfortable working in a team, right? So that is
Mm-hmm.
why these questions come up in the interview. Then comes the problem solving. The problem solving, every firm has its own challenges. There's no firm which is perfect. Everything is hunky dory, no problems, no challenges. It's never going to happen. Every firm will
Okay.
have its own set of challenges. So when you get an interview, you have to showcase your potential of how well you can solve those problems. It's all about our
Mm-hmm.
thinking out of the box. It's all about having different perspectives for that one problem. How differently you're thinking, what are the different angles you're thinking from? Or you're just wearing a horse blinger and just saying this is the only way we can go through. High
Mhm.
possibilities. There could be multiple aspects to that situation that you're into. So problem solving skills are extremely important. See, technical skills can be taught. These skills like soft skills or behavioral skills cannot be taught, and that is why they're
Mhm.
transferable skills. You expand them, you grow them as you grow in the career. That is one. Okay? Then
Mhm.
comes the leadership skill. Now, to be a leader, you don't really need a title, Anusha. I don't need to be a director. I don't need to be a manager to be a leader. All of us are a leader from day one. We all have certain characteristics or traits of being a leader. Now, here, what the
Mhm.
manager or the interviewer sees is what are your leadership qualities? It could be, can you motivate the team? Can you motivate yourself? Okay.
Mhm.
Then how good are you when it comes to going along with the team? Or it could be how are you dealing when the situations are going tough? These are the
Mhm.
situations, multiple situations we come across where we deal and show our leadership skills. So you need to be very clear in your thought process how you would handle. You need not necessarily be a manager to lead something. The idea here is how flexible you are, how approachable you are. Then comes your organizing skills. Now here what it means is it's all about setting your priorities. Okay, when we work in a corporate world, it's very important that you need to prioritize your activities. So it's extremely important that how well you're organized when it comes to dealing your own priorities. Because when we are working in any organization, you're not going to work only on one particular task. You're going to have multiple activities going simultaneously with different functions, different departments in parallel, going too many activities, right? So how well are you organizing your priorities and what is so important for you? How are you rating them? Or are you just sidelining few things and saying or procrastinating that I'll figure it out and let me just go with the flow. Even that is not the right attitude, right? So organizing skills are definitely going to ask because they are going to check because you cannot expect in the firm my job is only X. If I get Y kind of a work, I will say no. It just doesn't work that way. Even if that Y is not part of a portfolio, people will expect you to deliver because it's a team thing, right? So we have to go hand in hand. So that is why they will check how are you able to organize or are you getting overwhelmed and stressed because too many things are coming your way and you're not able to deal with the situation. Then comes your perseverance and motivation. Now, this is extremely important because when you're out of the college, see in college you have friends, you have lot many other people, your parents to back you up and to pep you up and to keep you happy and always support you. But when you're in the corporate world, that's not going to happen. You all by yourself, right? And the situations could be very tough at times, uncalled events, unplanned events, maybe difficult colleagues, difficult manager. So how are you going to handle? Are you going to sit in one corner and cry and say, "Oh, how will I do it? I don't know how to manage." You cannot do that, right? That shows your immaturity then, because you are bound to come across people you might not be comfortable with. You're bound to come across situations or work you are not comfortable with, but you don't have a choice. You don't choose things in the organization. You don't choose your manager, right? So that is why they check in the interview what is your motivation level. If for whatever reasons you get demotivated, you go off track, how do you bring yourself back on track? If you see your colleague is demotivated or he or she is overwhelmed, what is that you are doing to support your colleague? That's exactly what the interviewer will check when they are, putting you in those situational questions. So definitely, this is another skill, you will have to build and try to make yourself so strong that you're able to sail through the events that you come across. Then comes your ability to work under pressure. There is no job, there is no job which is not going to call and say, hey, this is a very hunky dory job, because every job is going to have its own level of stress. That is deadlines, too much of work, too many deliverables happening, and too many people coming and asking for different things, and that's bound to put you under stress, especially if you're a fresher and you've just joined the organization. You are so new to everything, right? The place, the culture, the people. People are going to be very senior to you. They might not understand what you're trying to say, or you might not understand what you're trying, they are trying to tell you. It's a two-way thing. So they are going to check how well are you handling the stress. And this is where you can use the STAR method in the interview. We have already published those two videos on STAR method, part one and part two. Please go and listen to that. I have described every step how you can use that method in the interview. So use that context, when you are trying to explain a situation when you're under stress. Go by the STAR method, that is, talk about the situation, talk about the task, and then talk about what was the action that you took and what was the result from that action. So go step by step. So you are now able to help the interviewer to understand how you really handle the entire situation. Then comes your confidence. Now, confidence is a thin line, Anusha. Being overly confident and being confident. That's arrogance, right? And not many people understand that. They keep boasting, I am this, I am this, I am this, but the organization doesn't look at it that way. That then you're actually crossing the boundary which gets into an arrogance, right? Self confidence is something where you have complete faith on yourself, a complete belief on yourself and your skills and abilities. That is self confidence. It's not about screaming and shouting on top of your lungs and saying, I'm confident. It's not about that. It's about how comfortable you are in your own skin, one, and believing yourself in your own skills and abilities and showcasing it in the right way. That is self confidence. And how can you build self confidence? One, believe in yourself. Two, get out of the comfort zone. Three, take up challenges which you think are very difficult for you. Fair enough, it is okay, but you need to come out of that comfort zone and move a step ahead and try to do it. At the max, what will happen? You will fail. But if you see the bigger picture, you're coming out with an experience. That is three. Four, once you have done with completing that task or whatever the challenge that you had, now go back and analyze it and ask yourself, what is the possibility or how I could do this in a different way the next time I come into a similar situation or a similar event. What differently can I do that? Or how can I do that? Maybe you would want to do analysis on the entire situation. That will give you a different perspective. So next time when you get in the event something very similar or something different, you are much more prepared and much more confident. That is how one can look at building your own self confidence. So these are the core skills I was referring, which are which will be developed over the period of time. It's not an overnight, and that is why they are also called as transferable skills, because they get developed on daily and regular basis and as you grow in your career. And this is exactly what the employer looks in the interview. Then I want to ask you and tell you, you know what, today I'm going to ask you a question on communication skills. Then I'm going to ask you all of that. But in the conversation, when you have a dialogue with the interviewer, this is exactly what they want to check, and you need to be you need to be cognizant and get aware and be prepared on all these skills, and then go and present your potential, showcase it, and don't leave the opportunity, because every question is a opportunity for you to show your potential there on the table.
Follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we'll give you all the solution to your interview related problems and your sales needs.
Yeah, there are multiple sales opportunities also with Interview Tracker. You can reach out to us and the team will get back to you with the opportunity and the process.
Definitely. Stay safe and and get vaccinated.
Okay, thank you. Nice seeing you, everybody. See you next week again. Bye bye.
Yes, next week, see you again. Thank you guys so much for joining us.